Oh, that's what I was waiting today. Did I hand you?
You handed me it.
Oh, did I hear an ass bucket? Look.
I don't know.
A big lump on it, and that's what I said. Wait, I'm here and I'll drag it, but my head's pick up. Honest man, honest. But hey, listen.
You came up with it, I said you earlier.
Listen.
I wonder how Babs is not been coming now. And there you are.
The fucking, I thought fucking, I told her to tell you I'm coming out to keep you company, if you know what I mean. But it's obvious she didn't tell you because she wanted me, you know what I mean? No, she wanted to come out. She said, I've got some here for you, that you, I've got a new pipe to show you, you know. I said that, you know what I mean? I said, the new pipe's not got to fucking impress me, you know what I mean? Unless it's for my fucking motorbike, it's the exhaust pipe. Was right, a new pipe, aye, and a clean pair of drawers. Glenn, what are you doing? Stop that, stop poking at that. Yeah, is that done already? That book, you read that book? You watch it? Alright, the two, alright. Oh, Ken Watley, you got an iPhone? Right, listen, see an iPhone, right, if you got a book, right, just, and see the title on the front of a book, there's an app on the iPhone, right, you give the name of it, and it reads out the full book to you. You just need to set the book down and you can sit and...
Kindle or something, that's the one where he does it.
It's fucking good,
See
I've done it, I made a song on YouTube, right, and it's done two different versions, and I put the first couple of words was, I didn't know what I was doing, so I says, I drive so fast, like, because I want to fucking I want to die or something like that, and it sung that. And all that, and I was trying to get my voice in, and it was a woman's voice. There's a woman's face, it's all painted, she's got a red eye and all that. It's on YouTube.
I downloaded that Al. I wish I didn't because it fucking, it knows everything, man.
Oh, AI you mean? AI. AI on Messenger. It's artificial intelligence. That's artificial intelligence.
That's what it is. That listens to everything you're saying in that.
Listen, yeah, even before that came out, right? Me and Skin Boyle. Remember that time you came out of my bit for the first time, right? Fucking, I was showing Skin Boyle some. They were watching a video, right? And it came to adverts. We were talking about ball cancer, right? Testicular or cancer. Right, listen to this, but listen. And they were talking about a red Ferrari. I said, I don't like him, I prefer a Lamborghini. Right, but they're fucking worth, I wonder how much. Right, so the first advert that came up was a red Ferrari. I go, Skin, look. He goes, what? I says, look at that, what are we talking about? That red, and he's looking at it, he's going, how's that came up? I said, that's an advert. Right, there's two adverts you get. Second advert was about a doctor talking about down there. And I said, he said, how the fuck's that? I said, because that's listening to us. Right? Even at that, see if I'm coming home to hospital, talking about my hair falling out or something, and talking about the night that I made you hit the fucking ceiling, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
When you squatted these walls.
Oh no, she had 4 orgasms. I think that's one of my records. That's half of one of my records, Glennis. Yeah, because you've done more than that, yeah. And I lasted longer on hard, like, you know what I mean? But I can last long in bed.
Really?
As long as I'm sleeping. Yeah. But the bigger the dick, man, the bigger, that, you thought I was going to sing there, eh? It sounded like a bit of fucking rhythm, eh? The bigger the dick,
The bigger the dick, the bigger the slut.
No. The mere, well, what's that? Is that similar to mine's? That bit of metal? That end bit, look. Is there a hole at this side of that? Can you put your finger on? Is there a hole?
I've got one of these faces upstairs.
You kiss it good night.
You didn't put your finger on that one.
No, I know, that's what I'm asking her about that.
No.
But you sit back and fucking,
Yeah.
or go to bed, or go to bed and warm the sheets
I
up.
had a wee bird in here the other day.
Aye, listen, can I stay with you, right?
Always.
Can I bring my bird to bed? Right, you
We've
can
already-
keep,
we've already
listen,
had
you can
conversation.
film us and make money off it, right? Or you can join in, right? This time you can take your top off. Remember the last time, the first time she came to bed with us, she did.
got a fright
She
with
was
her,
saying,
I got a
Multiple,
bed.
and she took her top off. I said, what you doing? She goes, fuck this, man, I'm going to start playing with myself. You know what I mean?
But
You know what I mean?
Right, because I didn't have any boobs.
But, no, I said, but you taking your top off for, you know what I mean? It's
Didn't
only,
have any boobs.
no, it's only football players that do that. Right? But I'm going to tattoo them for you.
Wayne,
Right?
was there
I can tattoo shaddies to make your things look CD.
See if I go
No.
to Reebok, Babs.
Listen, you seen the
That's how
tattoo?
that's how the tattoo.
Well, I'm gonna
that's
show
how
you.
the tattoo
Listen.
the nipple.
I'm going to show you a tattoo I done with Denny Dolan. Right, stop, right, stop. Pause.
You were doing Danny before you done me.
Listen, no, I done you before I done anything.
No, Danny was done. And then me.
I done a tattoo on Denny. I want it done on myself, right? And it's like your skin's ripped open, right? On a robot, and it's like all wee bits of tubes and cogs and all that, eh? And I was wanting it on myself, but I couldn't do it. And I done it on Denny, and it turned out fucking crying.
You seen that
Seen
that Duncan?
Who's Duncan?
He's married to that wee Vicky. Duncan McGuinness or something. Stayed just on for you.
Duncan McQuinney. Ken McQuinney.
Vicky Thompson.
Aye, Ken.
Her man. I say he's went wild with a tattoo gun.
Aye.
And I mean wild, his face, oh my God.
But when himself, see, has he done it, is it shite? Is it ever no dark paint?
It's just horrible, it's just writing and fucking
Is he a dick? He's like, what's his name?
Duncan.
Right, is he no fake black man?
You know that Irish Neil?
Did he stay in a house doing my man's in Miracle Road across the
along-
medical primary?
She just as you come out your street. That's just do.
Because there's something years ago no happened with him, and everyone couldn't hate him for it. I don't know where it was, but this is when Craigie was still here, right? Because I used to go take Craigie down to his house, right? And I say, oh, who's staying here? Because it used to be Bob Davis that stayed here and all that, yeah. Again, the mother and father had died. And, you know, but anyway, it's 3 doors up from Big Malloy's, that's what you're talking about.
No.
Aye,
Would Big Malloy still stay across for the dentist at the
no, that's my ma's house.
So Big Malloy's near there, but yeah.
Right, aye. My ma's house is across from the dentist, that's how I have new teeth, right? Because I broke into it one night and I slipped and fell on me, right, the pliers. Right, anyway, but I'll tell you something about my teeth for it, by the way, and this is true. See when I was wee, you ever seen it in the dark, your watches go, right, and you turn the light off, and you ever try picking the bits up off the ground? You can't find them. It's like throwing a brick or a coin into a swimming pool and diving in with things and trying to find it. You can't, right? But I used to put it in my mouth, the stuff off the hands, and then spit it out, right, onto the carpet. That's how I got cancer. Can what that is, that stuff? Yeah, it's in my mouth. Women used to paint it on the clocks way back in the 1930s, and they were called the radio something. I'll get the word I'm looking for, and what's in it is lethal. Your teeth fall out, your jaw falls off and everything. You hardly make fucking 10 years after it, They were licking the brushes and painting their teeth before they went out the weekend. And they were poisoning themselves, honest, their jaws were falling out, their teeth first within fucking a year. They were like me, you know.
Kilo done anything here?
No, my teeth were all fell out. I pulled all my own teeth out, honest. My doctor can't believe me that I pulled all my teeth out. He said, you've not been to a dentist? I said, no, I pulled every one of my top teeth out. I says, I've got them in my wallet, and I showed him them. He goes, why are you carrying them out? I says, so that I can show the dentist them that how good they were. You know what I mean?
You see before you started your chemo?
See the root on your fucking teeth, it's twice the size of your tooth, man.
See my deal?
But I started receding because I used to brush too hard, right, furious. But one tooth fell out, and because it was a gap, I used to hit it with the brush, that would go slack. But back to 1987, I took a boxer, Robin Reid, round the back of your fucking garage in fucking 1987, right? He was my brother-in-law, right? And then he said, you say you get to fuck, and Kev was there. And I was at him, and I went round the back, and all Danny heard was 15 minutes later, he seen that cunt fuck off. And he was with Babsy, and what you heard was Denise squealing like fuck. He said, I've never heard a woman squealing. I looked here and Babsy, you were lying there with your face massive fuck. He said, we couldn't get you up. I said, Denny, I remember he coming out of a coma and I could only see, and you were holding my hand, and I was on a gurney going through a corridor. Then he was greeting the first time I've ever seen Dan doing things, right? But he was greeting me anger a bit, wasn't he? But and then the next thing, like, I was out, and 2 days later, I fucking woke up because I was needing the toilet, So I was on coma for 2 days, and so I had brain damage for because he punched me all about the head in the face because he was 6'2", right? And he was sober, and I was steaming drunk. I'd just been sick, I could hardly walk. And he fucking punched me with a knuckle duster in one hand and a wee fucking pole about 14 inches long. Forced him to my door when I got home, right? On the Wednesday, I got home on Tuesday. And said, we just need you to say the name, and he's getting done. That guy nearly fucking left you for dead. I said, what? I said, I don't know what happened. Right. But do you care what happened to you? I said, I got smashed or something. I said, I woke up in the hospital. A guy smashed it with a knuckle duster and a fucking metal bar. There. Now do you want to mention the cunt's name? I said, I can't remember. I can't remember. I said, I'm not a clout, mate. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
But he nearly left me for the... See, if I hadn't been with folk, I would have bled out. You know what I mean? It choked from my blood and all that, Because Denise went round the back fucking 5 minutes later, looking for me. She squealed, and Dennis says, where the fuck? And he looked at the wall, man. Can't stay across the commercial. It was there, back in the garage thing. It used to be a Bible school. Behind there. I was lying on my fucking back, man. And my face punched. He only looked and took me. I remember he laughing at him, dancing about. I went to the boxing with him down in Edinburgh, Sparta, where he goes with fucking big junior, I went for one day and I was punching the bag, jab, punch. For a fucking foul I says, come on. I says, I might go in there with you, Robin. Come on, take me in the ring, show you what I can do with my fucking right hook and that, I was wanting to sparkle, right? But that guy never went back out. He was a bouncer for over a year, and I seen him in Zen's, right, one night, and I went out to him, and that was myself. I went out to him, I said, Robin. He stood and he just looked. I said, listen, things are all right with me, mate. I said, you need to stay in this. I said, nobody's got to get you. I said, but my cousins were going to maul you, mate. He said, that's why, he admitted it. He said, that's why, I fucking,
Is that Zen still going?
Zen's, aye, it's probably got a different name.
Yeah,
I was in Boston, I think, and when I got out, fucking, this was a big thing, this big disco, so I went to Tuscus. Melville's, right? Melville's is the guy's name, aye.
We were never welcome.
Well, Toto Coelho was playing there one night, and I was wincing one in the birds at the bar, and they were staying in some hotel at the beginning of Edinburgh, the Carlton Hotel or something, I can't remember the right name. They were staying in there, they asked me to go with them. Ross was her name, the one called Ross. And if you Google it, what did I say the name of them was?
Rose.
No, it was 4 lasses, and there was desperate bin bags of them just that night. I Eat Cannibals was the song I had out, but I was smoking the face off it.
You were never sure to a boredom telling you, see, when you...
I was just out of Boston. I was a virgin still. I was just out of Boston, sir, fucking the week before it. Honest to God, I was fucking turning 19 that year. Because when I got put away, I was 17. Right? I got my 18 in the jail.
The copper's wife.
Aye, well, that was great. She was the bird that went home me. And I got up in the morning and I said, who's that? I told her about it. I said, oh, who's the policeman? That's her husband. My mum went, I started laughing. I goes, and I named him, eh? I said, it's because of him I just went to jail. Him, I got lost off.
What about the panic girl?
She goes, you're joking. I said, the panic girl, I said, Ma, you should have seen her.
He says, when I said, I tripped him, and I said,
My ma's with that would have fucking slipped off my ma, you know what I mean?
you just do it.
I said, what the fuck is that? She must have seen a panic girl laugh before I go into the room, you know what I mean?
If I tripped over it, when I said,
Well,
what's the chances that, Babs, you'd go to jail for your mum?
I should have sued her, because I tripped her a panic girl and I broke my nose. And that's payback for your husband, eh?
Yeah, you're fucking right.
I done fucking 2 years for. Well, we were the last two countries in Scotland, me and David Wilson, to get bust off. That's another claim to fame.
Ken, who I was talking to the other day, big flat feet. You know, I'm talking there.
Gordon McRae, he looked after me and she COVID. He looked after me, he came up with governor.
Married again?
He used to go with Breaker, eh?
Well, I don't know about Ben, but funnily, he says he does go there, he's probably
I've not seen him in
He's
ages.
married again.
Aye. Well,
Fourth and final time.
he came down to my house, right, and I don't know, this day, how he knew I was fucking ill, right? I was lying in my house, less than a week before Christmas, right? I had missed court and everything, eh? And fucking, I was really, I couldn't get to the toilet to crawl, and I phoned the doctors soon opened. Then I was like that for 5:30 in the morning. He said, don't come anywhere near here, it's COVID, but we can tell. I said, it's no, I said, I get this every fucking year, this feeling, right? Fucking lung cancer, it turned out, aye, you know what I mean? And see, the 2020, I was getting that illness fucking twice a year, twice every 6 months. You know what I mean? And I told my doctor, I said, I'm getting, and I named what I had. He goes, how do you ken it's that? I said, because, I said, I think I've got lung cancer. I said, and that's the first sign of lung cancer, is pneumonia. You know what I mean? It's pus coming through your tubes.
Did you catch COVID?
He says, how do you ken that? I said, because I've been studying it. No, but listen, I went and done a COVID test, right, but came back positive. Listen to this. I poured orange juice there, a COVID test, and it came back positive. It's a lie. I'm telling you.
When they drug tests first came out, Babsy, the ones you put in your mouth, was it you passed that?
I don't know. What one?
The ones you put in your mouth,
COVID?
they just come out. No, for drug tests.
Oh, for aye.
I'm sure
But
you were the first one that took it and you put it in your mouth.
Aye, the wee bit of cotton wool thing.
No, that's that had a stick on it, this one.
All right, aye.
No, like pull it
It had a
like
stick in it, and you just put it in and you sat it at the side of your mouth.
right.
Let
And
me
then
see.
you put it in, they put it back in. I'm sure you were the
Honest.
first person on you and you passed it.
Glennis,
Chewing-gum or something.
Glennis, no, they're still doing that. No, come what I've done. You don't chew it. Yeah, you just sit it in your mouth and you keep it to one side and you know, but you don't get saliva on it.
I couldn't do it, but I thought cotton wool in my
Mine's kept on coming back with no sign. Even I was getting clean samples, and fucking, it was coming back. There was sign met my green stuff, and there was no sign of my V's. But I took my V's. I took them every morning. You know what I mean? There was no sign of that, and Dr. Larry was getting pissed off. I said, listen, I said, there's my strip, right? This is Monday, right? There's my strip that is 1 day. I said, look, I've got fucking one left. You know, that's for tomorrow, Tuesday. I got my script on Wednesday, you know.
When it Tuesday you take it in?
There are no twos, it's fives. Fives, but see when I found out I had fucking the death sentence, right? Fucking lung cancer. Right, I said to my doctor, I said, you ken something, Dr. Larry? I said, I knew I'd be the cunt. The only cunt, the black sheep, to fucking get Ken, all my dad's side of his family all died at my age, you know what I mean? In fact, there was one of them died at 60, you know? So his two brothers and his sister, man, all died and my dad stopped smoking, right? at 60, and he lived to 76. He lived to 76. You know what I mean?
What age was your mum?
That's right. No, he lived to 76, right? So I cut his throat, man. I said, you've gone too long, man. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I want freedom.
I said, no. I said, you're cheating death. You know what I mean? But no, we're cheating death. Us. But you're cheating it because you took. What did you get? You get chemo. Chemo. I used to think chemo. Chemo. I used to think chemo was. Right, I didn't hear a clue. I messaged you saying, I'm going out there, I was live, and I says, Glennis, if you're watching this, I'm going out there from my first dose of chemo. I says, what is it? What do they do in chemo? What is it? Because I can radiotherapy is like you lie down in this thing that's got gamma rays coming out it, and I stripped it down. On the second day I had it stripped down, and it was firing out rays, the same as what a fucking microwave does, right, to destroy the cancer cells. It also destroys good blood cells in your body, right? I had that much fucking thing with radiotherapy that they tested my blood, and fucking 3 months later, right, the end of November, and they said, your blood level's at 62. I said, what do you mean 62? 62%? You know what I mean? And I was 62. I said, that's because I'm 62 years old. You know, I said, what are you talking about, Ken? 62 what? You've only got 62. I said, I've only got 62% in my blood. You know? No, you've got 62% of fucking good blood cells. The other ones are the white ones before they get reused, right? That's because and they wouldn't tell me the parasites stripping them. That's what the parasites do, and that's how you die, because you lost weight. And doctors have never taught us this, you know. But I'm telling you, Glennis, do you trust me? I'm doing it for the. Listen, I'm shouting it for the rooftops, you know. If they're a robber, you know. I was like a bumblebee, like. It's a fly. I nearly had it. Anyway, folks, this is my first podcast, right? Well, it's after midnight. I'm a comedian, right, for Blackburn West Lothian, right? I say the next who's going to be Subo, Ken Susan Boyle. Right, I used to play in this fucking band thing, right, on a Sunday or a Monday. We used to call it Monday Club. If she came through to the lounge to get up and sing, I would drop the fucking drumsticks or whatever I had, or get away from the keyboard, and we'd run straight to the bar. When she got up to sing, because she would sing this, it was like an opera song. But I found it out what she sung at Britain's Got Talent, you know. You know what I mean? See, when I seen her on it, I said, she's got to win it for sympathy, but they didn't. She did win that, but see, the wee lassie won it. They gave her it because they Kent Subo would get big anyway. Subo's got hundreds of millions in the bank because she doesn't believe she deserved it. Yeah. So I feel like saying to her, Ken, you know what I mean? Subo, I'm having a conversation with you. You know what I mean? I've cut your grass for you before. You know what I mean?
Do you not see last week on Facebook?
I've played a keyboard down at Chaddy's to let you sing. Way back in fucking mid-80s for you, hen, right? I said, because no country else would, right? You know what I mean? But I've spoken to her right at the gate. I said, I've done all. I said, you can't have a mask on. You're one of the band, doing noise, pal. I said, no, you can't message. Margaret, you. That your mum? I said, aye. You one of the twins? I said, aye. She came at me. Mama worked at the same school she went to, right? And I used to go there. So she seen me there, Mama, when, you know, went into the school. Start cleaning it when they were coming across the bridge, eh?
School was in St Ken's?
No, aye, she was...
I bet there was footies there, man.
That was back in the 70s, right? At the end of the 70s, and then she I don't know if she hurt herself or something, but she stopped working through something. She went on like the sick, like I'm doing. But at least I hurt myself, you know what I mean? My ma didn't. My ma got fucking lazy, you know. She got my
mum was lonely.
But my dad was making a fair. My dad left school at the age of 14, right? To go and work in British Steel and Bargate. You know, he's paid the borders, eh? Right, he come up here, met my ma fucking at a dance somewhere, and he stayed here, right? And he married my ma at fucking age fucking 19 or something, and had the first, see the house next door to me, doing me, right? Sandy and Margaret was born in the front room, and Sandy, and then we moved round the corner, and that's where we, Jacqueline and me, Johnny, and fucking Molly were born. Do you ken, I can remember my wee brother being born, and he's only 2 years younger than me. Johnny.
You can remember it stuff when you were
I told the doctor, and the doctor laughed at me, and I said, what are you laughing at? Me remembering back to I was less than 2. I said, I'll tell you this, I can remember sitting on my mum's knee and asking her what her chest was, listening to Robert and laughing to my fucking Auntie Agnes, that's her youngest sister, asking me what they are. I said, what are they? And I can remember my ma hang me and Johnny all the time, mollycoddling them away. I said, he's going to be a fucking, a sissy when he grows up. And Sandy was rolling about, my big brother, he was rolling about, you know, this coming for a 3-year-old, you know what I mean? And mummy, and I used to call him Keyhole Kate, you know that, you know what I mean? But I called him a poof at the age of 5 hours, and I called him a poof for the first time. And Johnny says, what is he? Sandy was with his pal, Pete. And I said, he's a poof. He was laughing because I was a 5-year-old, you know, a 4.5 or 5-year-old, ain't he? I was bright when I was wee, but I was dumb at school, I couldn't read the words. I was at the back, and I used to say the wrong words, like a C is a G, right? And an I is a L, you know what I mean? I didn't care if an N was a name, and I'd get things wrong and I would read slow. No, I'm dead. No, I couldn't see. I needed glasses, right? And they didn't recognise that, the teachers. Because I used to come in and say, what are you reading? And I says, and Ken, they should have said to me, Redhouse, I went to the infant school for 3 years. I went to Redhouse for 4 years, and then hang me for 3 years. I left school in 77, the end of it, but I was only 15, right? And I was 16 the year after it in June, the summer holidays, but I didn't go, but I went back and got my leaving certificate. I didn't write, but I done techies on, and I was good at that, techies on and woodworking that, writing with my hands. And I done screen printing, and I had to do a drawing of still life like I got to, or a fucking football with some fruit in it, and I was pretty good at that at the age of fucking, but at the dinner time, since second year, me and Puskis signed up for to do the weights. At dinner time, so we could jump the fucking queue to get our dinner right early, you know?
That's what I went to. I call for 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back to the
and we were all doing judo, and we went into the big assembly hall, right? You can see, we would go there once a month, and this judo teacher, he was the British, he was Scottish. I think his first name was John, and something like John Wilson or something. Right, he was the fucking Olympic champion that year, and this was 1973 or something doing about then, so I'm going to Google it and find out. But I learned the most at judo because I was no paying attention, and right wheel here. Ken usually when you're dancing and say, right, I need a volunteer to show you, and right you. Here, and I would go out and Ken, so I practiced judo and I was quite good at fighting at a young age, right? And after that, he was an Olympic gold medalist that I'd been getting taught it for like 2 years, right? Plus doing the weights at dinner time. And that cunt picked on me, man, right? And I fucking threw him, you know what I mean? He said, and he got up and he goes, yes, give me a hangman, and his face was beat out. His face was beat out. But he told me to stick into it, and so did the gym teacher for the weights. He said, your songs are nooks. This is when I was 14. I'd taken 2 big guys and the teacher to lift his weights onto my neck for to do squats. You know, I said, as much as on that, it was like 150 kilo. Right, now I was only 5 feet tall, man. Right, and the bar was bending. Right, I said, what do I do? He says, squat down to the big long benches, the bin things. Squat down to your ass, touches that, and then back up. So I come down, my legs were shaking, but I put a towel down my neck to put it on, and they're ready. I said, get away from me. And I was halfway down, I said, right, I bounced back up, and I felt them grabbing that dome, and I turned about 6 of them, right. I said, right. I said, how many about today? One, you were on about today, one. I said, all right, take it off. But the bar was bobbling, man. I said, how much was that? It was over 100 kilo. And at the time, you know, fucking, I was over 5 fucking kid. But I was strong as fuck. Because I used to lift car engines at the age of 12 with Denny. You know what I mean, Denny? And we used to go out to fucking fields and lift boulders and things like that, eh? And I climbed trees and things like that, and I got strong, you know what I mean?
Your Levi's and your white vest too.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, we're going back since then. I was so far, man.
But,
I was so far.
see, the Levi's you're talking about, I came across them yesterday, I've got two but the ones that I've got that one on the pocket, my 501s, I'll put them on one night when I come there.
Because I tell you, you can't buy them fat Levi's now, can you?
Yeah.
They need to make 501s
I
now.
don't know, I've got about 30 pair of Levi's, right? I've only got one white pair.
I don't think they make 501s now.
I don't know.
When they fucking, they brought the twisters and that out. They were fucking horrible Levi. The legs were all twisted, you remember them?
See you next time you're around, man. I'm going to take you straight in the back room. No for sex this time. But I'm going to show you all the clays I've got. You'll not believe it, you'll say, Babsy, what the fuck? I've got 3 chests of drawers, right, and they've got all tweezers in them, right? You open this cupboard, you think it's a wardrobe. It's got 5 shelves, probably t-shirts all the way down, apart from the bottom, and there's tweezers and a coat. Right, and there's things like shirts all hanging up on tappy shirts outside them. I've got that much. I've no cupboard space
They're
anyway.
all vintage.
I was got to build in that front room, Ken, there's a recessed bit, eh? Once I take the pine bed away and put rails across here, aye, 2 rails, and then hang all my stuff up and put a curtain up just to come down to stop the dust. You know, aye, hide them from fucking robbers when they come in. Because I let fucking too many thieves in, right? Talking about pot noodles, they've stopped selling them. I was just buying 2 pot noodles a day or something, see, because they were doing to 70 pence, right? But they're back up to 150, right? But I opened the top, I thought I'd name, opened the top cupboard and I counted them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So I had 6 at the top, and then I was for fuck's sake, 1, 2, 3, I had 10, it's either 9 or 10 I had. Honest. Ken, the most was the curry, because I love the curry. I love the curry, honest man. That's because I'm half Chinese. It's the top half, because Chinese have got wee dicks. Well, she told me that one, yeah. Aye. They've got wee dicks and they don't tip you fucking, you know what I mean? I said, that's karma for you, eh? You know what I mean? If you don't tip folk, you're born with a fucking wee dick. You know what I mean? But hey, they're tiny, see the yips, the Koreans especially. They're fucking, honestly, they're tiny. See how you go on Temu, and see if they're buying something. Like, say it's fucking a jacket, right? And it's medium, right? You've got to buy an extra large for it to fit, you know me. But it's fucking, that team is fucking honest, I don't know how they can. But I came at their planet, they're selling your details, the Chinese. They make a lot of money off, somebody makes a lot of money off, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's cheap, but when you think it, all the stuff's made there, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But see when they get £1 or $1, it's like somebody giving you £100 note, you know what I mean? The money's, you know what I mean, they're there, again. Earn China and Korea, it's Korea. you can't fart without fucking, you have to go and hide in a cupboard to fart. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is, sir.
Is that the one with
There's no cars on the road, you know what I mean? There's no, because there's a shortage of petrol, or you can't afford to buy petrol, you know.
Where is it?
You see soldiers walking down the highways, you know what I mean? But
Where is that about when the man's got to walk in front of the one?
that,
No, like to hold hands or
that's
something.
Pakistan, that's Muslims.
That's
That's Muslims. They want that earth here, right? Listen, they want that earth here. Muslims have got to get in. And we've not even used the word fucking Islam, the word against them. Do you know what I mean? Say to them, yeah, you're fucking Islamic bastard. They would stick you in and you would get lifted and taken to court the next day. You know what I mean?
You've done big time for fucking
So
Muslims.
I'm gonna kid on. I'm a Muslim. You know what I mean? So for to be a Muslim, you'll need a converted you, and slap her about and rape her. But then that makes you a Muslim.
You're too old
That
for
makes you a Muslim. You know what I mean?
You're too old, you've got to get a
And then walk about with flip flops on and kid on your Jesus. There's a bunch of cavemen, man. So they are. You know what I mean? See when cavemen came out of the caves, right? They wore fucking fur with the things that they kill. Shut up or I'll bust you. Right? You hear me? Right? You listen to me. Right? Cavemen, right? Because I'm not old. I remember it, right? They didn't eat their day. Shut up. See cavemen, right? See when they came out of caves and started to talk and mumble or whatever, right? And build wee straw huts and that, right? I wonder, you ken when that was? Millions, I don't believe it was millions of years ago.
But it's still
When
going on the
cavemen, you know, cavemen, see Jesus, right? See the way, he was a diner, right? A bad diner, right? But see that sight with the fish and the wine, you know what I mean? Right, he's a Christian, right? But because I'm saying nothing about that. But see, Tesco's was the first to do things for Muslims. They sent a guy out because he was dressed. Remember, I came out here with my Desert Storm fucking, right, my fucking army. A guy was dressed like me, and they told me to get out because he was offensive to Muslims. And they wouldn't force on me. He was joking. But if you notice, there was, what was it, what's the things you put, round things you put, gammon steak, things, pineapple, what is it you call these things? That bit of meat.
Gammon steak.
Is that a gammon steak? Aye. Well, that's been after this fucking thing for fucking a decade or more, right? I noticed that fucking a wee back in 2015, no, in fact, 15 years ago, when I used to take courses, right, or go down the house, right? And then I said, do you notice there's not even gammon crisps? What's going on? But you notice,
They smoking bacon.
many pubs was in Blackburn. Right, there's only 2 clubs left, right? That's because of the Muslims. That's to do with the Muslims. Yanking the price, the cost of living up. They can't afford, pubs can't afford to run the pubs because of the price of the beer and the rent, fucking the rent up. Right, that's the first fucking move. That's what they do. They've got the government giving them money, 20 million for
They go back.
but 20 million for to keep them safe. Now where would that go?
And new shoes,
Where would
and
that go?
phones, and bikes, and fucking trainers.
Right, but 20 fucking million to keep them safe. Just stay in your hussies or your mosque and you'll be fucking safe. You know what I mean?
You'd be happy, 20 million, I'd be sitting like that.
Just how much we need defence? That's what it was, just about a few hundred, about 700 or 800 million. Is it fuck? Right, it's a fucking billion we'll give them. I said, on what? Because I ken guys that went out and they ripped the boats, and he says, listen, it's no gangs out here. It's the police that bring them, right? And you know, the government taking the money and bought hoosies and new cars and all that. The money we give them, there's no gangs. You don't pay 10 grand. You don't pay fuck all for air rubbers. It's key, it's Starmer that pays for the fucking thingies for them to come across. And the RNLI picks them up halfway across. Ken?
You tell me that before.
That's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, it gets, and if they get caught, they get so much money to go back.
And Ken McFolk are saying vote reform, because if you don't vote reform, these Greens are going to, no, we're voting that fucking restore Britain, because reform, all the folk that voted for him a year ago are going to vote restore Britain now, because there's about 5 Muslims in fucking Farage's telling me, and all the countries, the Tories, man.
I've never voted in my life.
Aye, and they said they were going to stop the votes and that, and no, he's wrong, mate. You went out in a boat and you got hunted halfway across. Yeah, sure.
See with that starting in Edinburgh,
What?
that protest,
What?
that fucking, that
A bit, aye.
the guy who fucking, what it called us with the knife and stabbed 3 people. Pictures of him, it's 2 different guys.
He wasn't to this, right? He's not been here that long, but listen, tell me what he done. Apparently, the first thing he done, he stabbed 2 guys and stuck a rate and attacked them. He wrecked a shop because it was undone. He went up a flat, right? All the locals were chasing him, right? And it was one of the posts. Went up a flat. And he opened the door and walked in and boarded up the front door and he said, who's that? And he said, you fucking move and I'll cut your fucking throats. Right? He held him hostage because on the news later on, the police wouldn't go up and kick the door in, because if that guy jumped or fell through there, the police were fearing in case they got done with murder. No, they were going to save 2 lives. There was 2 hostages, you know what I mean? But he stabbed the guy anyway, and the woman was slightly injured.
3 people went to hospital.
You know what I mean? But see, a week before Christmas, like see in Glasgow, there was a mosque, and it's right next to a wee school, right? That's what I thought was on fire last week, right? Right, because of the dome, right? There's a fucking mosque, right? And it's just a week before Christmas. This has not been on the news. There was one dead person right outside the mosque door in the middle of the road, and 3 but critical. They got taken to hospital. And they've not said if it was Muslims or Westminsters that were damaged or that done it. Who done it? I think it was the Weezies that done it. You know what I mean?
That guy in Edinburgh, see all the cunts that protested with it. There was fucking hundreds of cunts, Babs, and that's what's needed to be done. Aye, the police was right shiny too.
I don't know. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to drink. It's like I don't know if you will. That's how I'm hiding the flag.
And if you don't wait every morning.
I forget caught drinking on this. I don't know if it's like TikTok. The video gets cut or I don't know. But anyway, I can cut this bit out, man. If I got smoking. I forgot about that.
Only a fag.
No, that was only a roll up of the smoke. I forgot the fags were there, eh? Anyway, somebody comment, can I get demonetized for smoking or drinking? This is my first time live. But somebody tell me.
How many people's watching you?
I don't know where it's, 2 folk. Well, it's no Santa Claus and it's no Elvis.
The Proclaimers.
Oh, listen, I've been up after I had a pal that was in Boston with me. His name is Norman Maxwell. He died a few years ago. But I've been up there. There's a pub, right? The town centre's like tiny, right? It's cobbles, and there's this thing in the middle of a wee statue hang, eh? And then there's a pub hang. It's like walking in a house door, eh? As soon as you open the door hits the bar. It's a pub, right? And there's a fireplace, man. You can only put about half a dozen or 10 folk in it, eh? So as soon as you open the door and walk in, you're standing at the bar, man. You know what I mean? But lucky enough, you could fucking get a drink and go back outside, eh? Because I went up to visit. Up to the guy, he was in Boston with me. He walked it, he hitchhiked it. Now this is about 60 mile away, right? And he hitched it all the way down because it's a chunky tune. The Nikon works, you know, like fucking music.
Where was your Boston?
Where was it? I was in Falkirk for Alicali, right, 6 weeks there. I was on Huckley. And then I went up to Castle Huntley, right, for 9 months. Wilson went to non-side, which was only 8 months, but he fucked up. He had an easy job in that, and he ran away the last fucking 3 weeks. He ran away with no shoes on. Well, somebody stole his shoes in Dundee, for something or other.
Big flat feet was saying to me, when him and David Wilson walked in the bath gate, says it was late at night, he says,